to the universe of instant transformation. Battle!
Imagine mystic warriors of change. They are infaceable.
Welcome back to Retro Wednesday at the Tide Deer Hanger. This is Mike, and today I want to talk to you about the 1984 Infaceables toy line by Gloop. This had some gimmick with the face and a kind of a rubbery silicone face that created a suction, and it was kind of a skeletal structure underneath exposed. I went out of my way to make sure that I didn't have any of them that had exposed skeletal structure for the most part. But these are really hard to collect in great condition with decent faces or somewhat presentable faces. But really easy to collect if you don't care about the face. Now I'm going to get into this. I'm going to talk about the whole toy line. I'm going to talk about the other two vehicles I did not collect. And I'll tell you why I didn't buy them. They're cheap. They're easy to find. But why I didn't buy them. But we're going to get into this whole toy line of Infaceables. Really cool. Never seen a gimmick like this before. And we may never see a gimmick like this again. If you did see another toy line with this gimmick, please let me know in the comments below. But let's get to take a look at Infaceables coming up. Alright, so we're going to start looking at Sphinx. But before I get into the actual toy line comparisons to the Black Star figure that they came out with Gloop made, and then of course the Defenders of the Earth, and they're bigger than Defenders of the Earth. They're actually still bigger than the Black Star figures, but it does sort of fit in that realm a bit. But these are way different than anything with Black Star. They did it on purpose so they don't have to pay royalties if they were trying to capitalize on Black Star. But this gimmick is something I have not seen in any other toy line. But their size and scale, and yeah, it's kind of fun. But they did reuse one vehicle, playset / vehicle for this, and I will be bringing these guys back out to show you in that vehicle how it's the same thing. I didn't buy any carded ones of these, and if you did buy a carded figure, then you'd see that every carded figure I've looked at online that's available to buy today seems to have the face not working. Even sealed on the card, they've failed. The rubber or silicone has dried up. It is already kind of compressed to the face. Probably cracked also. So gimmicks not working right now. Now there's Ashens has a video from almost a decade ago, 8 years ago, where he has shown the gimmicks working. So check him out if you want to see the gimmicks working. Or check out, I'm going to have a little short video of it somewhere in the beginning or the end showing this. But here we go with the card back. And it shows all this stuff. I will be getting all my information from the official card back here. And we'll be talking about that. Now getting into this guy, he looks like he's kind of an Egyptian kind of dude. They did name him Sphinx. And the one that this card is based on is called War Dog. He's kind of Egyptian looking too. We'll see him next. But getting into him, now you know how I like to collect. I don't want to just have one of everything. I like to have at least an extra accessory or two of each figure. It's just a weird collecting habit of mine. And I've got some duplicates of these figures, but I also have duplicates of the accessories. They all come with a strap, and I'm going to get into talking about the strap in a minute, but it's cool that it holds the weapon. You can put every weapon will fit in the strap. Well, depending on how brave you are, I've made every weapon fit in the strap. And I've got secondary weapons that fit in there and that kind of stuff. So it's cool. But I've put the good guys on this side, bad guys on the other side. Quick look at my bad guys. The strap is going to the other direction. Just so I could say these are bad guys and the good guys that go to the opposite direction. Seemed like a fun little thing for me to do with my own collection as I was buying these things up and keeping the lore straight in my head. You might be saying, Mike, check the gimmick on this guy. So here's the face, and when I pull it up, it does nothing. You're supposed to pull on this, it sucks the face in. Now, I will try to find pictures of figures I chose not to buy because they had no face. So you can see the actual face. Aside from that, he's a cool looking figure. It does add a little bit of size to him if you pull him up and you don't put him back down. He's a much, much taller figure. He gives him about an inch. And let me tell you this, ladies, an inch doesn't make that big of a difference. I hear it's hard to display 18 inches, so I don't know about all that. But this one here is the War Dog. And, of course, I've got his card back. This is the one of the couple card backs I've got. But it is his card back. I don't have any sealed. I don't want them sealed unless I think there's a chance that the face will work. I don't really go after sealed product vintage because it's about double to 6 or 1,000 times more expensive, depending on which toy line, of course. But I've got the extra sword back here just for fun, and it fits in there. Will it fit into this? Yes, it'll fit into that, but it's kind of low, so I just kind of tucked it into here for my extra sword. He is kind of an Egyptian-looking dude, too, and of course his face gimmick. Let's do it. Doesn't work. Lots of light in here, too. Okay, now, with it, let's do articulation on this guy, because I talked a lot on the other one. No head articulation at all, because of the gimmick. Arms go up and down, just like Black Star. He is restricted because of this. Not all have that. And then he has an open palm hand. You're going to see one figure does not have this hand. It's a repeated of the same arm. But Ashen's said it's like asking for change. It's more like wanting to slap your mama. I heard there's a better one of you coming. No, Crystal came after 84. She's 86. Never mind. Anyway, it's a cool looking figure. He's got some sort of a spider looking skull on his crotch. His legs go up and down. It has the same internal leg construction as we see with the Black Star figure, of course. But there it is. And let's move to the next one. Alright, so this one is Iron Lion, the courageous leader of the good forces. So I probably should have started with the leader, right? But I didn't. His face is a little ate up, and but it's not the worst I've seen. And I have a buddy of mine that has a better one that's coming, but I don't want to wait a month to get that one. So I got an extra sword here. I still can't decide which sword's better. Some of these weapons accessories look a little bit better than other ones, but yes, pretty cool looking figure overall, and he looks like a lion, and he's got like a shark tooth necklace. He's got some sort of a badge he wears there. Cool, interesting stuff that he's got going on with him, but again, his face is so deteriorated that it doesn't work, but not too deteriorated because I do not want to buy them that have just the white face on them because there's no face. And when I first heard about this line a few years ago, somebody said it's really hard to get them with the face at all. And, well, that was pretty accurate. So, anyway, this one here, this one is Iron Lion, the leader of the bunch. But let's get into the next one. The next one's called Robash. Before there's AI, there were just androids that would come out and be robots. And we never actually saw those in the real world. Science fiction is 25% fiction and 75% science. That's called good science fiction. So why don't we have robots like this yet? Well, I mean, maybe it takes 75 years instead of just 40. But he looks pretty cool. There's his dead face. He's dead in the face. And I can't get anything to happen when I pop him. Oh, nothing happens. I have theories how to make them, how to fix them. I've seen Ashens try to fix them. I don't know if it's worth it to try to fix them. I wouldn't try to start from scratch. I'd actually try to fix the original face, but I would probably fail. But I have multiple ideas because the holes in the face, I'd put like super glue or some sort of a coating over the whole thing. Then I'd heat it up and try to get it to work just once. I think that would work with a lot of time, effort, and money, and then again, if it doesn't work, what a waste of time. Anyway, getting into him, he does look kind of cool. He does have his strap on the correct direction. He's got a strap on right. Here's what he looks like pulled up. Oh, we saw some problems there. Anyway, we'll get into that problem in a minute. Now, He's got his weapon. I do have an extra. They only come with one weapon, and to reiterate, I bought an extra weapon for each one of them just because I think it looks cool to have a weapon stowed, but he's the only one that can hold two weapons, so why not have him have two weapons? Doesn't it make sense for him to have two weapons in his hand? Well, in my display, that's how it's going to look, and it's a lot of fun, and this toy line is actually getting cooler the more I mess with it. So next up, we're going to take a look at Tuskus, the saber-toothed oceanic ogre of darkness. He is kind of crazy looking, but here's his face, and it's not the best face that exists, but it's good enough for me. And he has a little gun, so it's a little tiny little gun. I would think if you're missing that gun, just grab like a random Sectar's gun. They're about the same color, maybe about the same size. I don't know. I might try one on it one day. I have another sword coming for him. I don't know why, because he can't hold it and the gun at the same time. There's no holster for him to put his gun in. So, yeah, he's still a cool looking dude. He's got like a bone exterior, and he's got this tri-peg third leg. Now, a lot of things about this figure made me not want to collect the line, because when I first was introduced to this line 3 years ago, and people were telling me about get them with faces, they were way more expensive. They've gotten a lot cheaper lately and easier to get, but you see what just happened right there. It's hard to make them stand. Now on my display, he'll have a backing behind him, and so he can just fall right back into a wall or a backing or something. But on a review, get him to stand on this tri-peg leg is hard, and I might as well move on to the next one before he falls again. Anyway, this one is Tuskus, the saber-toothed oceanic ogre of darkness. Alright, next up we are going to talk about Brainior. Brainior is the dark side strategist whose brain pulses with evil. And I want to point out that Ashens did say it looks like kind of like a Manny Faces in a way, and he's kind of right in a way, but way different. Like, this is kind of, you can see the construction of the silicone or rubber mold that goes over the face. It's exposed right here. Nothing in here is really exposed except for just the front. So much different construction, much different design. But this dude is kind of cool. Now, I only have one weapon. It will fit in his back here. I like to show that kind of stuff off. You could just stow it away right there if you wanted to, for whatever reason. But he could hold two. The reason I didn't notice he could hold two weapons at the same time, like the Robash, is because I don't have the second one yet. A buddy of mine's got one coming for me, so I will have the second weapon for him, and my display will be nice. But I don't know why. This one seems to be a little hard to get. Face looks kind of crazy, and when you, of course, pull it up, mine still doesn't work. As good as he is. But he does kind of feel like a knockoff of Manny Faces, but with only one face. But he looks cool. He's a good-looking dude. It does feel like he's kind of a robot, but he's not. He's a human with maybe cyborg tendencies. But this is Brainior, the dark side strategist whose brain pulses with evil. So next up we get to Timbo. I think the last two are the harder to find in decent shape with a face still existing. These were the harder two of mine to find. And with him, he does come with like an axe, which is kind of interesting. And I have an extra one to put on his back. His accessories were pretty easy to find. And he's a bad guy, so I've got to strap the other direction. He's got yellow all over him. The next one has yellow all over him, and he's got like a aqua. No, he's got a teal, and the next one's aqua. Or is the next one aqua, and this one's teal? Well, anyway, all of you colorologists out there can tell me the right colors. Hold up, let's do this. Which one is teal? Which one is aqua? And I got my work cut out for me on this one, getting him to stand up. But yeah, let me know what you think. Again, another one that doesn't work. I can't get the faces to work. Maybe 10 years ago, when Ashens did his, they sort of somewhat worked on his. These don't work on mine, but I'd love to see him do an updated video, because it would be really awesome to see if his still work 8 years later. But Here he is, Timbo. Looks almost like elephant legs. Is that what that is? Elephant legs? It's weird to even understand what they were thinking when they were making these. Alright, next up we have the Torto, the Claw, armored beast menacing the dark, briny deep. And he does not want to stand up. And I don't know if it's just my copy or every one of these just doesn't want to stand up. Now, I have his axe. It's another one with an axe, but it's a different axe, and it matches his color scheme and all that. And his face is ate up enough that it doesn't work. He's got some fins on his head, and he's got an axe on his back. Now, this is an extra that I like to show how it stores the back. It's kind of cool stuff. Kind of fun. Cool looking figure, but another one that's hard to get with an actual face on there. I mean, most of them come with just the white holes, the white skeleton face with holes, so the gimmick will work. But this one has enough of a face that you can make it out. And the other thing is that there's tamper graphing, great printing, face printing on this, on all these figures, that as the face deteriorates, you lose all of that printing that they had. He doesn't want to stand. Anyway, this is Torto, the Claw, armored beast menacing the dark, briny deep. Kind of like their own take on Merman. Yeah, it is kind of their take on Merman. So now we're going to get into the Defenders of the Earth Gripjaw. No, it's the Crusher Cruiser from the Infaceables. Now, I did pick this thing up years ago when I was doing the Defenders of the Earth video, and it's the only vehicle I didn't have. And I was looking online, and I was like, wait, Infaceables has the same exact vehicle. Literally the same exact thing. The stickers are a little bit different. It's named something different, but the color schemes are exactly the same. And the only difference, and you could swap parts from it, the only difference, the absolute only difference, is the fact that it has different stickers on it, and it has a different box. Now, there was another version that's a different color, and I'll try to pop that up on the screen whenever I get time. Well, let's see what this looks like with the Infaceable figures that are a little bit bigger. Let's put this guy in here. He just kind of rests inside here and just hangs out, and then we can close this up. So he fits just fine. Looking on the back here, we've got this guy here, and we need to pull him out of here. He's in the strap, and yeah, it's got some cool stickers and decals. It's got clear red plastic in there. And then let's just throw this guy on here. Now you would have to probably, so one difference is these have foot holes and pegs. So I think the grip jaw one doesn't have these pegs that will help hold these figures in place. There's actually a place to tuck the feet in. You have the belt and you have the holes to hold the figure in place, which is great, but you can't really use the gimmick with the figure in there very easily, so I would say take the figure out if you use the gimmick. Let's use the Origins figure, so he probably won't break if we do something with him, but you can turn this side to side very loud, and then you squeeze the trigger in, you grab them, you can go side to side with them. They've got rubber tires, big giant rubber tires, some blue rims and stuff going on. Cool looking vehicle. I don't know if it's a lot of fun. Could be very destructive. Now for the last two vehicles, I want to point out that the Incredible Thrasher and the Horrible Hammer. So the Incredible Thrasher, we'll look at it first. It is a cool looking vehicle. If you pull the trigger on the back, I think it kind of swings that mace back and forth. I think that's how it works. I don't know. It also comes with the purple coloration like they have for the El Greco line. And it's a cool looking vehicle. Now, let's look at the next one here. The next one is the Horrible Hammer. And I think when you pull the trigger, the hammer comes down. That's pretty simple. And all these just kind of sit on the back. The figure stands on the back and you pull the trigger around the figure. Cool looking stuff. Now you can get these for like 30 or 40 bucks on eBay right now, today. Easy. No problem. The problem is I'm done buying stuff to keep in a tub. And what I learned from Defenders of the Earth and this Crusher Cruiser, I'm keeping it in a tub. I'm not displaying it. I don't have place to display it. I don't have place to display these. So I didn't buy them. Sorry, I would have loved to demonstrate them, but I'm not buying stuff to keep in a tub anymore. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this look at the Galoob 1984 Infaceables toy line. The entire toy line. And it's a cool gimmick. It's kind of fun. I'm glad that I collected this toy line. It's a whole lot of fun getting them. And the truth is that I love toy lines that are finite. You can just get them all. Here we are with 8 figures and 3 vehicles, but I canceled 2 for the reasons I talked about. But with it, is it worth going after collecting today? It's up to you. If you had it as a kid, you probably want to get it again. If you never had it before, it's a fun little blip on the radar of the massively awesome toy lines from the 80s. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe. And of course, Tiderium hang out, but I'll be back with more collections in the future. Tiderium hang out.
Infaceables,
Iron Lion,
Infaceables,
and Robash,
imaginistic warriors of change. Infaceables,
where you could command the powers of change.
Infaceables,
They come ready for battle like a lube.